it seems like Apple might be switching up their product lineup in terms of what their flagships might be as compared to the budget phones. And honestly, Apple doesn't really have a budget phone. I mean, sure, the SE was there and all, and versions of it, but people didn't really like that phone that much because of all the compromises and all that. So that you can't really count that. Apart from the original SE, that was an awesome phone. But yeah, from what I'm hearing, seems like the iPhone 8, 18 series is gonna completely change the lineup. It seems like during the usual launch cycle next year, the phones that are gonna be launched are the 18 Pro, the 18 Pro Max, the Air 2. I think that's what it's gonna be called. I'd be surprised if they just turn into the 18 Air or something. But yeah, these phones and the folding iPhone, whatever it's gonna be called. So these are gonna be the flagship Apple products, and there isn't gonna be an iPhone 18 next year. At least that's what I'm hearing, because apparently Apple is gonna be launching that maybe at the end of maybe at the beginning of the 2027 March or something, along with the 18 wait the 18e or wait, what was it, 18e or 17e, anyway, the E phone. So that means that the main iPhones are gonna be the Pro, the Pro Max, the Air, and the folding iPhone. So it kind of makes the flagship iPhone, the default flagship iPhone that everyone would focus on, be the regular Pro, I guess, and the normal the 15, 16, 17 type of phone, and the E phones are gonna be their budget products now. Even though the pricing would be similar to the Pro, not that different. I mean, a few $100s, but I guess that is a difference. It is still expensive, but yeah, Apple might be shifting their strategy on where they place their products. And the regular 18 is gonna be considered the budget phone, and I guess that makes sense in a lot of ways. I mean, they did do a lot of work on their phone and give it the 17 and give it a lot of features, and I guess that might be the reason why they're splitting it up and putting it in a different segment. So it would be interesting to see how this goes. Now, in terms of sales, how well will these phones do? Well, the folding iPhone, it's gonna sell a lot, as long as it's not too compromised or anything. If it's as good as the Z Fold 7, it is gonna sell a lot, even with the big price tag, because it's an Apple product, and people are willing to spend a lot of money on Apple products. And we already seen all the stuff that happens during the iPhone launches in India. I mean, it's a little ridiculous to me, but that's how obsessed a lot of people are with Apple products. So even if it is a super expensive iPhone, a folding iPhone, a $2,000 iPhone, it's gonna sell well. Now, yeah, it's just gonna sell well. Honestly, this is probably gonna make folding phones mainstream. The folding iPhone, as long as it's as good as the Z Fold 7 and hopefully better. And yeah, that's probably gonna sell really well. And the Pros and the Pro Maxes, I feel like those phones are gonna be not gonna be the default phone that everyone's gonna be focusing on from now on. It's probably gonna be the phone that the seriously heavy power users all want. Just for the big battery life, the superior camera improvements that over the base models. I mean, the regular 18 and all that. It's gonna be a seriously power user type of phone. That's probably gonna be where this phone is gonna be targeted at. And the mainstream iPhone that everyone's probably gonna be wanting to look at is probably gonna be the regular models, the 18, and who are people on a more budget focused place, the E phone. Because from what I'm hearing, the E phone is gonna be a pretty great phone in terms of the specs that it offers. except for the 120 hertz and all that. And yeah, I feel like Apple's shifting its strategy on what its products are, because before, I mean, when you look at it, there were three iPhones: the regular model, the Pro, the Pro Max, and everyone would go for the Pro if they had the money, because that was the best phone, and the regular model was a bit too compromised in comparison. But now that's not the case. So people can just go for that, and a lot of people are going to go for that. So they're probably shifting their strategy completely, and that's probably why they went with a completely new type of design for the Pros this year. And you can see from that design that it wasn't supposed to be aesthetically all that pleasing to everyone. It's supposed to look like a utilitarian phone. At least that's what I feel like when I see that phone. It looks like a utilitarian phone, and I guess that is what Apple's strategy is. And I mean, it's Apple. As long as the products are good for the money, people are gonna buy these products. And the folding iPhone, it's gonna be really exciting. And the iPhone that's gonna sell the least is probably gonna be the Air. I mean, I think the people who wanted the Air, already the novelty of the Air, already bought it, or is waiting to buy the current Air at a cheaper price when sales and offers show up. So yeah, the next year's Air, I don't think that's gonna be a huge success. The people who want the novelty are just gonna buy the previous one. So that's probably not gonna do well. But all the other phones, yeah, for the power users, they're gonna gravitate towards the Pro models. And for the people who want the modern folding tech and all that, and who have the money for it, they're gonna go for the folding iPhone. And for most people, the default iPhone will be the regular models now. And for the budget oriented people who are really focusing on the budget and want an Apple iPhone, they're gonna go for the E models. So yeah, Apple's seems to be spreading its lineup into a multiple areas now, rather than just being in one really strong area. And that's great for Apple. It means they can target a huge audience and get more sales and make more money. So yeah, and plus with the Apple branding, I mean, come on, people are gonna want to buy these phones. So apart from the Air, seems like the 18 series is gonna be a big leap for Apple in terms of sales with this great product lineup next year. So let's wait and see what happens. Although I do have some concerns about the Pro and the regular 18 model, because the price difference, I mean, the Pro is probably going to get discounts by the time the 18 and the 18 comes out, so the price might be similar. So that would be interesting to see what happens. And I don't know, maybe they could do a price cut or something for the 18. I mean, I don't really see anything them doing anything substantially different from the 17, apart from the newer processor. So maybe they keep the price lower and bring the price of the E down as well. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how that works out. Or maybe they just don't drop the price of the Pros, which would be an interesting strategy. I mean, compared to the competition, the Ultra phones from Samsung, their price might go down, and that might be a problem. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how they work out the pricing between the Pro and the regular 18. So let's wait and see what happens. That is something concerning. So yeah, let's wait.